Hey, silly goosies. Welcome to But Seriously, the podcast where we dive into life's pivotal moments and how they shape who we are. I'm Taylor, and each week I'll be sitting down with guests from all walks of life to explore how different challenges and traumas can become stepping stones into one's own authenticity. This is not a how-to on healing, rather an open, heartfelt, and even sometimes hilarious conversation amongst friends. We'll laugh, maybe shed a tear, and remind ourselves that life just is not that serious. So lighten up, let go, and settle in as you join us for stories that are as funny as they are inspiring. This is But Seriously. Let's get started. This week on But Seriously, I sit down with my little sister, Jordan. It's one of the most personal conversations ever on this podcast. Together, we unpack growing up in the same family, but having wildly different experiences, how childhood trauma shaped each of us in unique ways, and the journey of finding our way back to each other as adults. It's raw, honest, very funny, and a great conversation around healing, relationships, and the complicated beauty of sisterhood. Thanks for tuning in. All right, Jordy.
Chin Chin, TT.
Big Tits McGee.
Woohoo!
Joining us for But Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Tune into the YouTube where at the end I flash them as a special surprise.
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
All of a sudden just gets shut down.
Either that or your subscribers just skyrocket.
It's funny, you think I have subscribers.
I'm one of them.
On YouTube?
Oh, no. I don't use the YouTube.
Yeah, no, I have a YouTube because apparently it's like, you're supposed to have all the platforms, but like
You're pretty enough that you should be filming this. I agree.
That's really nice of you to say, but I like literally don't, I can barely use Instagram.
I don't know how, the technology side of this, I don't know how you're pulling off. But
I'm
you're
not.
pulling. It's gone pretty well.
But thanks so much for gassing me up.
Yes.
Now it's time to gas you up, Big Boobs McGee.
Yeah.
I'm calling her Big Boobs McGee. Well, one, she's my little sister, so I can call her whatever the fuck I want.
Fair. And she does, and she has for 30 years.
And
Big Boobs McGee is the much kinder of some of the nicknames I've gotten, so.
Jordy, this is my little sister Jordan,
Hey, everyone.
my best friend, and she just got her titties done. All right, I know you keep telling me like a big number and a CC, but like what bra size?
I think I'm like a 34C. Like, I think I'm exactly what I went
Really?
for.
I feel like they look big. I mean, they look fantastic.
I think they look really big because they're sitting up high really still, but the more they're settling, the more, like, my old bras that I had that granted fit when I was 100 pounds bigger are fitting now. And I said, like, I really didn't want to try to buy a lot of new clothes. I was like, if I have to buy new bras, I will, but I didn't want to have to buy new tops. And I said, I'm going for a full C. Full C at the worst, like the most small D, if that's like what my frame demands. And thankfully I went to a place and they're like, no, that's what we aim for. Like, we aim for natural. We don't give girls like big bazoombas unless they really, really ask for them. But we definitely push people towards a more natural look. And that's what I wanted.
Not the bazoombas.
Oh, the bazoombas. I just said I want to look balanced. I wanted to look normal. I wanted people to think that they're fake because they look too perfect, shape-wise.
I think that's what's going to happen when they drop. I mean,
yeah, right now
for the girlies, drop what you got.
Yeah.
For the girlies, drop what you got.
Drop it's hot.
No, you're not understanding me. Drop what you asked for your surgeon. Now you can use the CC over under
365, baby.
365
CC every day of the year, absolutely.
on top, underneath.
Half on top, half underneath. Lollipop lift method. The lollipop lift is because I had my surgeon was nice enough to term it as severe sag, and I was like, okay, that was rude, but that's fine.
When he called you a severe
I
sag,
had severe sag because of the weight loss. Like, my boobs were really sad and saggy. So I got the lift, and I didn't know, but that was one who added $8,000 to it, and two added insane amount of trauma to the body. So that was fun.
they say breast lifts, like the lifts, are more painful than the actual implant.
More painful. They were like, yeah,
Or so I've
you're
been told.
adding and a lot more trauma to the body getting a lift than I was prepared for. But that's okay. And that's what I really wanted, was the lift, the shape. And then obviously I just didn't have any breast tissue there anymore because what was all fat is now gone. So he said, we're going to go in, or he's measured me and said, I'm assuming you'll want around 350. We'll start there, go if we need to. Came out, double 365s and rolling.
Well, you look absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
I feel like just living in the same city as you now for a little bit, slightly over a year, it is just crazy the transformation you've gone through. And I don't just mean physically, like obviously losing weight, getting your tits done is awesome, but like I feel like the proof is in the pudding when you like make steps to drastically improve your life.
The pudding
and, like,
I no longer eat.
Shut up. But like the proof is in the yogurt. I don't know.
Filter feeding.
That you just took really necessary steps to get your mental health right, to get toxic people out of your life, and then
the body kind of followed.
Yeah.
Like,
and you also want to, because you're not like stuck in this
I feel
self-deprecation.
Like they say like there's like, you know, the body keeps score, the trauma keeps score and all that. And it really like, I had struggled with my weight my entire life, but it didn't stay off and I didn't make the necessary lifestyle changes until I liked myself. And I didn't like myself until I tried to like love myself until I healed.
Yeah.
And so it was like investing in that, in the EMDR and the, you know, really rooting out those there and that got my mind right. And then everything else just kind of settled. So, and I think moving here was just kind of the icing on the cake, kick those last like 20, 30 pounds and just everyone here is so hot and in shape and fun. And it's just like a very different atmosphere to what I was living before. So it just kind of.
Yeah. It's hard to not be active in a place like this. I mean, and you were coming from Pittsburgh and then DC, where obviously there's like seasonal depression big time.
DC is a very active city, but it's also very performative in a way. And it's very.
Oh, like California's not?
No, but I mean, like, it's very like DC, especially. Oh, what's your security clearance? Oh, I work 12 hours. Oh, yeah, well, I work 16 hours. Like the yardstick by which they measure success isn't happiness. Well,
they're very much political and that kind of focus, whereas I think somewhere out here, it's kind of more social aspect.
I think it's just like what you measure, at least the people I've found myself with, in no small part thanks to you, it's just success is measured if you're happy, if you're living a life you're happy with. And
which is so true.
It absolutely is. And it's like, is my bank account doing better than it was in DC? Fuck no.
Oh,
but I'm such a more happy, fulfilled person. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm like.
People must think I'm rich for all the shit I do, but like.
Stan, my partner, asked me that when he was like, so like, what do you do? Because you spend money, like, and I'm like, oh, no, we just, you know, it's fine. He's like, what do you mean it's fine? I'm like, it's fine. It's
no,
fine.
Dude, it's like scary. Like, I don't know the word no a lot of times when it comes to fun things. Sometimes it's a thing that I need to work on, like setting boundaries. Yeah. Do you need to move this closer to you? Are you good?
I mean, are you cool with me?
Yeah, no, of course. I just didn't know that was uncomfortable. Sorry, we were discussing our lives.
She's being such a hostess.
But what the hell was I saying? Bank accounts.
Can't say no.
Oh, can't say no. It's not like I need to learn how to say no, but like it's so difficult when people are like, hey, you know, Tori moved to Uluwatu in Bali. Yeah. Come visit me. Like, fuck yeah, I want to. Brigitte's moving to Rio. I want to go to Euro Summer again. And I'm like, I want to do all these things.
What I have found is the older I got, the more comfortable I am saying no to the shit that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have FOMO. Because
I have it.
I only have it. I won't have it because if I actually want to do something, I just do it.
Yeah.
But the things I don't want to do, I'm like, nah.
I get a little bit of that, but I think here's what happens to me too. It's like, I still want to be invited even if I don't go.
Agreed.
But it's psychotic of me.
I mean, yeah, but like that's just human nature. Like we just want to be involved. Like I mean, it's like my Velcro dog Rufus follows me everywhere. He just wants to be involved. He just wants to. But Stan had the same comment. He was like, I need to be better at, like, I don't want to take experiences from you. So I always say yes, even if I don't want to do it. And like, I need to be okay with like maybe disappointing you a little bit in the future. He was like, because I have said yes to so many trips and plans and things that I don't have the PTO for. I don't have the money for it. I just don't want you to not have the experience.
Yeah. And that's really a good thing to recognize early on. But speaking of Stan and like all this, I feel like that's another thing that really fell into place for you. And I kind of want to talk about your relationships because I think it's a really important part of your healing story as well as a part of your trauma and how working through all of that, like things come to you when you're finally ready for them to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think your new partner, Stan, is like incredible. I'm obsessed with him. Mm-hmm. Literally, he's so cute and fun. He's smitten as a kitten.
As am I.
I know you are. But I think it's really important to talk about, like you said, your weight loss journey, this relationship with Stan, how you got here and what was kind of going through first. Obviously, that's kind of what I'm all about on this podcast. So what I'm doing with my, yoga career is having the power to give people the power to tell their stories so everybody can see no matter where we're all going, what we've been through, like we can still come out on the other side. And sharing those stories, like, makes us all connected more, makes us heal first. It's like one small shift in that can help a person heal. And I think your story is just really important. One, we have a lot, obviously we're siblings, we have a lot of shared trauma in the early days. But I think watching you from afar when you were in some other relationships and living in these cities, DC and Pittsburgh, it was very clear to me you weren't happy, you were miserable, you weren't living your best life. So I kind of just want to ask you, I guess, what you learned from each relationship. And like, I think that's a good place to start. We'll do that. Like what was your biggest takeaway from your relationship that you entered right after mom passed and you were living in Pittsburgh and DC, and then her following relationship in DC that brought you to San Diego?
Yeah, my adult ones. I think after mom passed, I was really, really lost. And I was really just looking for, there's a part of me that knew but hadn't accepted that I would never fill the void. Her and I were very, very close, and I would just never have that.
I would hope so, mother and daughter.
Right. But even more so, I mean, like, we spoke on the phone, like, literally from the day I left for college till the day I moved home to take care of her. We didn't go even a day without talking on the phone, which, I mean, at some point was probably, like, dependent relationship.
A little dependent.
A little dependent. I can't imagine it being the blueprint for any other relationships in my life later on.
I think, well, that was her role, right? She knew you needed her. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and be like, mom didn't, like, me and mom talked probably at least once a week, but sometimes she would be like, oh my God, Jordan's calling me again. But I'm like, she's like, but she needs me.
I was not my happiest at dating. So I leaned on her, and our relationship got pretty strong.
What are moms for?
Yeah. So after mom passed, I coped not well, but unsurprisingly with drinking, drugs, and sex. That's what I did. And
So a lot of people do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I'm literally 21, 22 years old. Like, why wouldn't I? And I started experimenting with my sexuality and just being open to it. I always found girls really, like, attractive in general. Like, I loved lesbian porn, but I didn't think much of it because I just, like, straight porn isn't for women. So I was like, I just like watching stuff that's geared. And a lot of women, straight women.
I identify straight, and I masturbated to lesbian porn multiple times in high school, college, and I was like, oh my God, is this something? But, like, a lot of women are hot, and I feel like
are beautiful.
We're also taught from the male gaze that is hot, right? Wow. And then we're also, I feel like, just more sensual and in tune with our sexualities than men. So it doesn't, like, it's not like a glaring red flag.
Straight porn lately?
I haven't.
I
read my porn. I'm smart. I read my porn.
Intellectuals read.
So
I was like, like, whatever, I'll try threesomes and couples and group stuff and women and just whatever kept me not alone.
Yeah, that's what I did. And filling a void.
And just going a little crazy, going a little nuts. And during that time, I met Sarah. Definitely the first, like, love of my first, like, big love. I fell for her really hard. She was the first partner I had that I felt really matched me intellectually. She was extremely smart, spoke like 4 languages.
I thought you were about to say smoked weed. I was like,
she was very she was straight arrow on that stuff.
She said she spoke how many languages? Sorry.
She spoke 4 languages and a couple dialogues. She had a couple dialogues of Arabic within that, but she spoke English, obviously, French, Russian, and Arabic, and then within Arabic spoke a couple dialogues of that. She was a linguist major. So she was cool. It was, I mean, that's just really impressive.
Yeah.
She was very, very smart. She was very intense, like very kind of bitchy. Like, people thought she was.
Okay, here's the thing. I know what you're saying. When I got to know her, I thought she was really cool and like I could hold a conversation with her. I just don't think she's warm. She's not like, well, now I think she's a bitch, but like, when you were dating her, did I think she was your person? No. And not because of the girl thing. I just kind of could sense there was something a little off. But I would never say out the gate she was a bitch. I just think there's, like, our family, we're warm, we're inviting, we're always talking, we're trying to, like,
Irish and Scottish. So she just has this kind of.
She's stoic. Like, she's just, So, and I don't think, that's why I just, not to, like.
No, you're right. But I didn't, that's why I didn't mean it like a derogatory.
No, I get you.
She just, she loved a red lip, and she loved to dress hot but very conservatively, and she loved to, like, kind of scare, like, there was a bit of a scare.
Well, she was intimidating for sure.
And I just was kind of in awe of that. Like, I'd only known women as, like, kind of a couple things, but never this, like, intense like boss kind of shit. This like boss bitch vibe about her that I found really, really attractive, really alluring. So yeah, we had a 2-year, I think, something like that relationship.
I thought it was closer to 3, but what do I know?
Honestly, it's been so long. We moved to DC together from Pittsburgh after dating for almost a year. I got a job, and she, at that point, it was COVID, so she was like, I'll go with you, what the hell. And
DC would be closer to what she wanted to do because she was in linguistics. She wanted to kind of get into a government role.
She wanted to work for the CIA, which should have been red flag in Nero,
but not the most honest person.
No, and she actually said she took like the personality quizzes, and that's where she excelled. And at that point, it didn't like click for me what that meant.
Oh, so you're a professional liar,
literally sociopath. And it didn't click for me at the time, but looking back, and this is all to say, this was what. 8 years ago, 6, 7, 6,
so it was 2020-ish?
Yeah.
Right, it wasn't 2019?
6 years ago. Well, we broke up 2020, I think, 2020.
So yeah, you're right, 2 years-ish, yeah.
6 years ago. So who's to say, and she was younger than me by, I want to say a year or two, I don't want to remember, but who's to say she hasn't grown and changed and all this, like, but that's what she wanted to do, and she was almost really proud of the fact that she had this detachment, and could do that job, and I didn't recognize that for what it was, a big old red flag, mainly because she also had big old boobies.
Well, and I also think too, because it was your first real, first real love, and it was right after mom died, I think there was a little bit of like you latching on, I wouldn't say a trauma bond because she wasn't there when mom passed, but like
there was,
this was like your saving grace, like you're like, oh my god, I have somebody. And
my first love. I loved blindly. I loved without any reservations, without any...
Do you think your guard was down from that because of the state you were in post-mom?
100%. Yeah. So even after... So long story short, she ended up cheating on me with an ex. And
her ex. Not her ex. Oh my god. I was like, what the fuck? You was
and then she...
ex?
I mean, I when I found out, at that point, I was paying the rent. I was paying for her animals' care. I helped pay her car payment a couple of times. And I was heartbroken. So I said, you have 24 hours, get the fuck out of my apartment.
Yeah.
She did. And from what I understood, almost moved in directly with that girl. And she went from DC to Youngstown, Ohio, and never really saw her again. But one of the things we had a conversation about afterwards was she kind of made it seem like maybe she never really loved me, or she just loved me very briefly and fell in love with me. But she said, you were just so desperate for somebody to love you after your mom died that it became so easy for you to give me everything I was looking for at this time.
Was that feedback or an insult?
I think it was, again, because
that sounds really mean.
It was horrific. And I don't know if that was verbatim. Again, that's 6 years ago, but it was something, that's how I remembered taking it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a very sensitive person, and
it could have been confirmation bias, right?
It absolutely could have been like, she said something like, to the effect of, you love me more than I loved you.
Yeah.
But what I heard was, she did say I remember clearly, you were just so desperate to be loved.
Yeah.
And then also, you were so desperate, you were just so willing to give me everything that I needed to succeed and to move forward with my life. Because she and I said I wasn't very happy in Pittsburgh, where she was, close to family, being from where she was from, and maybe saw me as a bit of a meal ticket. And that's at least that's what I took from that. And that was just made it very hard for me to trust my instincts in dating and in falling for someone after that, because I basically just in my head felt like I was manipulated into falling in love with someone, and who potentially never even felt that strongly for me, but I was so blindsided, I gave her everything I could.
Well, here's my thing. It's like, from the outsiders looking in, I had clocked a few things where I was like, this girl's a fucking liar. And I don't think she's one for Jordan based off of just based off of that. Like, I was never like, I wasn't shocked when you came out as bi at all. Like, and I felt like I could totally see you ending up with a woman. So it wasn't like anything like that. And I think a lot of our family kind of dismissed the relationship because of that. So when you broke up, everybody's like, I'm not surprised. I'm like, it has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has everything to do with her not being the right person. And there was something fucking shady there all along. And it was very clear to me that you were being a little bit used and manipulated.
Yeah. It was clear to a lot of people, but no one, I think, because I was so vulnerable. Yeah. And I was so sad that nobody wanted to be like, hey, you need to look closer.
Well, and I think if you look back at it too, at the time you were in, this is 10 years ago, 8 years ago, but like, it wasn't very easy to conveying something to you that, hey, Jordy, we think you're making a mistake. You would have been like, fuck off, you're a mistake.
Yeah, I was so not open to criticism as well as just anything. Like, I felt like I'd already been through enough. It was like, let me just have the good things. I don't
Right,
really
exactly. And I think also
I took a lot of those comments, if you would have taken them, a lot of them I would have taken them as an attack against
your
being
sexuality.
dated woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Sarah in general, especially because Sarah's family, you know, she was kicked out of her family really young when she came out, and they eventually made amends years later. But, you know, that had played a huge part in her. But, you know, we would go out and get looks, we'd get comments, we'd get...
They're both beautiful
so
girls.
she was very, not cold in public, but because of that, she was very... wasn't big on PD, and I'm such a lover. Like, I'm just like grabby, like friends, family.
Yeah, I watch you and Sam make out all the time.
Yeah, well, he's just hot. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have been open to it because I'm like, you're not on the inside of that relationship. You're seeing what Sarah wants you to see.
Yeah.
So I just
and it's hard to tell anybody, regardless of your sexual orientation, that you don't like their partner, you don't think this is it, because like obviously people say that to me in my relationships before, and I'm obviously very defensive.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be, especially if you love somebody. So I think that plays, at least for me, that's what played the role in not doing it. But all that being said, I'm gonna come back to my original question. What was your takeaway from this relationship? Like what was a big shift for you that you learned?
I don't want it to be something negative, like don't love with blinders on, but that was kind of a big thing for me, was like, I gotta grow up a little bit. Like, I can't just trust. But there was also this part that was like, you know, kind of gave me a glimpse of something I wanted. Like, I wanted something really comfortable, but not, that still challenged me. And I think she walked that line really well, of like, we had a little home, we had these animals, we had a cute apartment in Old Town Alexandria. Yeah. We had big plans. But she wasn't
provided.
She also wasn't a pushover. She didn't.
Yeah.
I'm a strong
She wasn't providing financially and intimately sometimes, and she wasn't warm. Yeah. So I feel like that's a huge part. But also, okay, what was a lesson that taught you about yourself? Like, I mean, like, that you took out of that relationship? Like, yes, maybe not love blindly, but like, did it maybe hold up a mirror to you? Like, okay, I need to heal this part of me. Like, was there anything like that was really involved? Or was it more just a lesson on how you want to love and who you want to love?
I think, looking back at the moment and when I was in the moment, at that point, I was still so unhealed from everything that had happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't even think, I'm sure there was a lesson to be learned in a mirror to myself and something I can take away from it. But what she did and the way she hurt me was so fucking gut-wrenching that I couldn't see it. Like, the only thing I could maybe say was, was very quick to give people the benefit of the doubt and to keep people in my life who will take from me and continue to take from me and continue to take from me.
Yeah.
And that I always had this idea that I needed to like earn love. And that was probably my big first lesson.
That's huge.
Like, but I wasn't ready to experience. So like that happened later where I actually
you don't need to be constantly giving. Yeah.
But I think that was a big thing that I didn't learn yet. I learned that later, but that should have been a big moment. But the way she went about it was so obviously hurtful. Like, she was so that all I could take about it from that moment was, something's wrong with me. I'm the problem.
You're never the problem when somebody cheats. It's always, it has nothing to do with you.
Agreed.
And I think a lot of times, like, you hear in relationships, like, well, you are what you attract, especially when you're in that mindset of like, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. But in situations like this, I think it's a lot more about like, no, you are what you put up with. And I think for a long time, you knew you were paying her bills. Sometimes you guys weren't, seeing eye to eye on the intimacy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you were hanging on even though you maybe knew it wasn't right, because you're like, I don't want to get back out there, I need this, and you become like kind of dependent on that love.
I don't even know if I was afraid to get back out there, because I really enjoy dating, I really enjoy sex, I really enjoy the adventure that comes with being single. But I do agree with the I didn't want to lose what I thought was the new security after mom died.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
So I think I was just very accepting of things that I never should have been accepting of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
Also,
like, you're just putting up with a lot of bullshit.
That's what love. And that when she gets her big job, it'll come back to me, because that was always what was said, right? But then, I'm 22. I'm in mourning. I'm also like, I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was hot. She was hot. Beautiful face.
She's gorgeous.
Really, really
she
great
was just
body.
kind of a bitch.
She was just, so I think there was a novelty, because I hate saying that as my first like woman relationship, the first woman I didn't just, see a couple times, have sex with or whatever. There was a trance she had on me, like a spell that I was just very enamored with her. Yeah. Fascinated by her almost. So there was always going to be that, I don't want to say a power dynamic, but that's almost what it felt like looking back, that there was this power dynamic where
even though you were the breadwinner, even though you were providing
she just had almost like
That's emotional manipulation 101,
But
babe.
also what's funny is at that point I realized just like, I had a little bit of idea that I was a bit more submissive, but that should have been so clear as day to me, looking back, that even though I paid for everything, this, like, because she was stoic and intimidating and kind of scary, it made me enamored with her so much more. Like, this dominating presence, I wanted to melt under it.
Yeah. Okay, kind of shifting gears, I guess. What was it like, kind of, I feel like this is kind of how you came out to the family, right? Being like, hey, I'm seeing this girl, I like her. Was there any, I guess, reservations, or were you, because I feel like our family is pretty open-minded, even though they can do and say some ignorant things. Was there any sort of, like, nerves? Did you have, like, a speech prepared? Like, how, I know, like, telling me you're like, I don't give a fuck, she won't care, but, like, were there any people, not people in specific, but just, like, kind of concerns about how you were going to come about this?
Yeah, for sure. If only because our family is, like you said, they're very open and understanding, but they are conservative, and they
Maybe
are
a little judgmental.
You're going to say a little judgmental. I was about to say hella judgmental.
I love your family.
We love them. And
you know your faults.
It wasn't even just judgment. It's we're very cult like we see it family. So
yeah.
I don't know if judgment. Yes, we're judgmental. I'm judgmental. You're judgmental. It's such as
we don't bullshit. We don't beat around the bush.
It's gonna be. And so I did. Her and I started dating in August, and at Christmas we had the spreading of mom's ashes. It's not the best. Yeah, it's not the
okay,
best.
sorry, not to interrupt your coming out story. Jesus Christ, it's such horrible.
You're fine. Obviously, I was living with Maggie, our cousin at the time, so there was no surprise there. She knew I was doing absurd things behind closed doors. Not that being with a woman is absurd, but I'm saying she had to hear a lot more than just that. Poor girl.
She had to hear you getting put through a mattress.
And me putting others through mattresses and all kinds of fun stuff.
How does that work?
Oh, you know, a couple here, a couple there.
A little pegging?
You know, the time, if such is required or requested, say la vie, why not? You know, I'm sorry. Have you never?
I've never pegged. It's a dream of mine.
It's actually really simple. I mean, I guess you have been with Jack for like 10 years, and I feel like in your late 20s, 30s is when that's probably the opportunity to do it. But
I feel like you can peg a partner.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to do it like I did in the wild.
I don't know if I peg in the wild.
I love my memoir. Pegging in the wild.
Pegging in the wild.
But anyways.
Pegging in the wild.
Pegging in the wild. That's the title of the episode. You're welcome. Wrote it for you.
Jesus Christ.
I could be a ghostwriter on this podcast. So I came out to the aunts at that Christmas trip where we did mom's spreading of the ashes, and I just said, you know, I wanted you guys to know and at that point I knew I loved her, so I said, you know, I'm in love and it's a woman and I'm bisexual. And I just remember Aunt Linda going, shh, Jordan, don't say that word. And
what?
I kind of like looked at her, I was like, bisexual? She went, shh.
What the fuck?
What? And she goes, ambidextrous. We know you're ambidextrous. I went,
were there kids around or something? And even
I just think it was the end of the night. Everyone was drunk. It was the end of the night and everyone was drunk.
Oh, she was probably just fucking with you.
Yeah, but I was no, because I literally was like, ambidextrous. Like, no, I can't write with both hands. It means I like men and she's like, I know what it means. Let's just call it ambidextrous. As if like bisexual was a bad word.
I don't like that.
And I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know if she's just drunk or whatever. She never had a problem. No one ever treated, especially on mom's side, Sarah with any kind of weirdness, any kind of judgment. Even the husbands who were our uncles, who I was probably the most worried about just because she was a hot blonde lesbian with big boobs.
Yeah.
And sometimes men are just
gross,
unable to contain certain comments. Everyone was super cool. Everyone was super nice. Everyone was really accepting. Even Pap and Graham, like, were so sweet about it. I think everyone at that point knew how hard mom's death hit both of us.
Yeah.
And just, you know, me going through mom's death without having anyone and feeling very isolated and no one that was just mine to lean on.
Yeah.
That wasn't also impacted by mom's death. It was really hard not to have someone in my corner that I felt like was far enough removed from mom that they could just, their sole focus was me.
Right. There's no other conflicting biases and parting
it's hard to rely on someone like Aunt Sherry or Aunt Linda or you because you're going through the same thing. You're losing a sister, a mother.
Totally. And that's why confirmation bias does come in because like you start reframing some traumas around your narrative.
Around this sense of isolation.
Yeah. Or you start getting kind of like distorted memories. So like, or you forget things entirely, especially in these high stressful times. So like, I really liked having a partner there because I could come to him and be like, hey, am I crazy or is this not the way this should be being handled? He's like, no, you're fine. Or like, Taylor, you're just hypersensitive right now. And so I feel like that is true even post the trauma when you have somebody who's in your corner, like you said.
Just having someone to go home, like to crawl into their arms and sob at the end of the night.
Because, like, we don't get along all the time. Our family doesn't get along all the time.
Yeah. And at that point, like, it felt like adding to someone's plate at that time.
And not
who's
your
also going through it.
Yeah.
Felt selfish a lot of times.
Totally.
So even asking for help, which I needed to do and I didn't do with the right.
Which we all would have helped. Yeah.
I know, but instead, for me, asking for help, you know, as mom's primary caregiver, saying, hey, I need a night, I need 2 nights, I need someone else to come and sleep in bed with her so I can get some fucking sleep, so I can go to class in the morning, so I get this fucking degree, felt so big that I let it get so far ahead of me, and I put myself so much on an island. So I think, and that was completely my mistake, but I'm also like, okay, I'm 21, I'm trying to give myself some forgiveness at that point, but with that being said, like you said, even finding someone later to help, even though she did not help with the
At the end of the day, all she did was just the knife.
She made it so much fucking worse.
At the end of the day, she pegged you.
Moved on. I forget. We pegged each other. Come on, we strapped. I think the family was just so relieved, and so even if they were weary about it, which I think a lot of you were, and I know now that a lot of people saw what you saw in her, no one wanted to diminish any kind of happiness I could find at that time. So everyone was great. I will say, in typical Jeff and Cheryl fashion, they made it super fucking weird.
Jeff and Cheryl. Jeff is father. Cheryl's her stepmother.
Yeah, Cheryl sobbed all over her and talked about the conflicting views with her religion, but now knowing an actual real life gay person made it feel... It was, like, I mean, and Sarah, like you said, being very stoic, also quite funny because she was in theater, so she had this like good sense for one-liners and dramatics. Was able to sit there and hold my sobbing stepmother, who she had met maybe twice at this point, who was coming to terms with gays are not bad just because God said so.
I know, and
looking at me like, what the actual
is
happening
I
here?
think that's also like such a good thing to call out too, because like most people are afraid and judge of what they don't understand. And when you grew up the sheltered life that people like that didn't, sometimes exposure is the best thing. Like, see, they are just people. Like, you know me, I fucking love the gays. I am obsessed. I'm fascinated and intrigued. I think it's so erotic and hot, and also like these wonderful people have been judged and prosecuted and not given the same rights as us, literally for being in love. Dude, you know me, I can't say words.
Oh my gosh, the
what did I say?
epitome.
Prosecuted?
You said prosecuted, as in like prosecution, as in like legal. Persecuted.
Persecuted. Oh my god, sue me. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
The epitome. You called me the epitome of stupid. That's it, Taylor. It's epitome.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Listen, I'm hot. I'm not smart.
You're very intelligent.
I know.
You're very, very intelligent.
I just can't pronounce shit.
You have such a tumultuous grasp on the English language. Sometimes.
Tumultuous.
Such a chaotic grasp. Like you use
my vernacular is incredible, bitch.
That was amazing. And honestly, I have noticed it's gotten better since you started reading porn. The synonyms you have for penis now are unreal. Very proud of you.
Yeah, my beef baton.
Beef baton? That's the first one that came to mind?
My trouser snake.
I like pork sword,
Pork
personally.
sword. Little Jim and the Twins, One-Eyed Monster.
Yeah.
Okay, anywho. But, okay, coming back to that, I think, what were we talking about? Cheryl being anti-gay. I think that exposure sometimes is really helpful for people who are stuck in this religious fucking loop of like, well, it said it once in the Bible that it's an abomination. Like, fuck off. It doesn't even really say that. And like, it also says don't eat shrimp. And I think when we are looking at a marginalized group of people who are literally out there just trying to love, like, it makes no sense to hold this anger and judgment. Like, how does it truly fucking affect you, Cheryl, that these two girls are in love?
I mean, like, it was a good moment for Cheryl,
no,
and I get that.
Yeah.
But Sarah, to put
on Sarah is bullshit.
And expect Sarah to almost like forgive you or something. Not that she didn't ask for, but like that's kind of what it was. It was
awkward.
And it made it very much, and especially Sarah had come from this background of her own mother kicking her out because her mother was a radical evangelicus, so she was. I mean, they couldn't watch Harry Potter. They couldn't celebrate.
What's
Halloween.
wild to me is like using religion, using the name of God to push your own bigotry and to push hatred and violence is insane. Like, that is the whole point of people's religion, is to love thy neighbor and do all these things. And when you're using that religious narrative to be a bigot, to be a racist, to be a homophobe, to create violence amongst like these marginalized group of people is fucking insane to me.
This feels like a great segue into my second relationship.
It does. It really does. But yeah, I mean, like, I am sorry that Sarah had to go through that with Cheryl, but like at the end of the day, she handled it with grace. Maybe this could have been like a phone call from Cheryl to you, like, hey, I just want to let you know I've worked through some, you know what I
Cheryl
mean?
picks weird mediums.
Yeah. Let's not even open that fucking can of worms.
That'll be a part 2 if we get
Part two.
Part two.
But yeah, I think this is a good segue. That was way too long.
That's a lot of time for a 20-year-old lesbian relationship.
The thing I love about you is I don't know how to reel you in. There are multiple times I was trying to give you hand gestures, like, we don't need to keep going, but I love when you want to rant, and if this needs to be 2 or 3 episodes, it needs to be 2 or 3 episodes.
Look, when a yapper starts a podcast and gets her literal relative yapper on it, it's gonna go...
What's the point of dropping the lore if I'm not going to give you every chaotic reason of why I'm so insane?
Everyone should know.
Everybody should know.
And know the path to big boobs,
big
a hot bod, and a hot European boyfriend. You gotta date some crazy lesbians, apparently.
And a right-wing freak.
And a right-wing man, yes.
Okay, so this is a huge jump to go, and I think it should be fucking studied.
It should be.
You went from dating a hot lesbian linguist.
Background
big
though,
titties.
she did vote for Trump in 2016.
That's disgusting.
Yep. She didn't in 2020. But she was, because of her upbringing, supremely religious, and her dad is a chief of police in Munhall.
Okay, I'm done with this.
I'm just saying.
I don't talk about her anymore.
She had a very more conservative upbringing.
Great, so did we, and I never voted for Trump.
And she was like voting, she recognized the mistake that it was, and she also was literally like 18 or 19. So at that point, the indoctrination.
Her brain wasn't even developed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She still believed whatever her parents taught.
Right. Okay, anywho. But it's a pretty big leap to go from your first lesbian relationship, not physical, just emotional, to the man you dated.
Yeah.
I'm playing it loosey-goosey with the term man.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
No, he was a man. Okay.
Little boy.
So when I met Grant, I was in DC. I was on my single ship. I had moved into a dope ass apartment. I was on all the apps. I was having similar fun to Pittsburgh, just out in there to win it, in there to forget. Sarah, I had not healed from mom, and Sarah hurt me in ways that I didn't know could make it as much worse as it did. I met Grant, and Grant presented himself as a moderate. From the minute we met, he said, socially, I'm liberal. Fiscally, I'm conservative, which is a tagline girls in DC will tell you fucking everywhere. That is what all the men use.
Are there like dating profiles in DC? Do they like list their political affiliation?
That'd be hilarious. I'm sure there is now, but this is also, again, now I'm 22, so this is...
you're not 22, you're 30.
No, at the point where I was dating, looking for, when I started dating Grant, I think I'm 23.
Oh, I was like, let's just start lying about their age. Okay, I'm 26.
I'm 23? No, I'm like 20, I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm 24, I'm 25, and Biden's back. We so back. Biden's back. Democrats are back. At that point, no one thinks Trump's coming back. And he's, you know, and a lot of people have said at that point, I do lean more fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
So that is why I swiped right. And I went on a date with him, and he once again
he's cute. He's a cute man.
Yeah. And he gave me this sense of security. And I will say, for how it ended, Grant gave me the space to be absolutely batshit fucking crazy.
Like release all the internal shit going on?
No. Like he gave me no reason not to. I didn't fucking trust him. I was convinced he was going to cheat on me. I was convinced he wanted every other woman because of what I had just gone through with Sarah. And I didn't heal from it.
But this is also probably his first or second relationship too.
First real relationship.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were both he was kind of learning and rolling with the punches, and he was smitten with you as well. And
I'm just saying, like, no, a lot of people would not pay for the sins of the previous partner. And he really did give me the space. And then, you know, eventually with him, I was able to get back get into therapy, do the EMDR, really heal from, not just Sarah, but from mom and all of that. And the security that I felt in that relationship to not cheat on me, to stick by me, to support me, is what gave me a lot of the space to do that.
No, and I think at the beginning he was a really, really good partner for you. And I was kidding when I called him not a man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Do I think he has like Cybertruck man tendencies?
That's
of
fair.
course.
That's fair.
And do I know he hates me and I'm probably stoking the flames? Of course.
He does hate you. He absolutely hates you.
It's okay, Grant. I love
he literally said at one point, he said, like, you have empathy for after the breakup. I tried to make some boundaries. And I said, like, I'm not comfortable with this anymore. He said, oh, so you have empathy for everyone but me now. And I was like, if that's the way you need to see it, fine. And he said, you sound more and more like your sister.
Okay, 2 things. 1, you can hate me and say those things all you want, Grant. I love all forms of attention. And 2,
This is true.
I am literally too fucking empathetic.
I know.
I literally am bend over backwards for other people, and then I'm like, I can't rest, I can't do these things.
I feel like as sisters, we're going to be most harsh to people who potentially hurt each other. He just couldn't, he did not like that, which is understandable.
Well, and I just like saw some sides of him, one, when I wasn't there through what you told me, and had seen him get like blown up angry before, and I was like, this is not it, little boy. I don't like how you talk to her or yell at her.
Yeah.
Which is triggering for anybody. Like if you saw, I mean, I told you about, me and Jack's arguments, like he blows up. When I call you and tell you that, you're like ready to fucking start a war too.
I completely get it.
And I think, like you said, it's interesting, the oscillation, but I'm not going to sit here and not negate the fact that, like, when you met him, you were probably at one of your lowest points
100%.
in life. And yes, he gave you the space to work through those, I don't want to call them jealousy issues, but insecurities and loving somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think it also made you get to a point where you were completely comfortable to be like, I'm doing nothing but focusing on myself, taking the therapy. But I think there came a point while you were working on yourself, and I do want to get into the therapy and the EMDR because that stuff is fascinating, and we both have done that stuff. But I think there became a point, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, where it got too fucking comfortable. Where there was no growth. It was just, let her do this. We don't need to do anything. We're staying in. We're going to not build up a social life. We're not going to build up this. And you guys became this sort of like
monster with 2 heads.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
that also sounds like a euphemism for a penis.
Ew. This is one of your monster porn penises. This is
sorry.
Yeah.
Don't tell everybody I'm reading monster porn.
Taylor, I got you into monster porn. It's fine.
I know. The one I'm reading right now is, it's a human that was turned against his, it's turned into a monster against his will by the military, and he was using 3 different monster bloods.
Right, is it?
No, it's in that
universe.
But he is feral and rabid, so they're keeping him in a cage, but he's starting to like...
Is this gay?
Oh, yeah, duh. And he finds his mate, kind of, and he's the only one he'll talk to, but he doesn't really talk. So they pulled him against his cage and just, like, right up his booty hole. And I'm like, this man's in a cage finger popping this guy's asshole. And I'm like, this is so romantic.
Taylor, whatever blows your skirt up at this point, like the saturation in this in smut right now is absolutely insane. And it gets to the point where you're almost desensitized. So like the more fucked up it is, the more you're like, something new. But then you're like, holy, and then you finish it and you're like, did I just
the desensitization is crazy, but like I don't know. And like the thing is, it's not like I'm like in there wanking it, you know what I mean? Spinning DJ diddles. I'm just like, get to the part where they fall in love. Like, it's just such a beautiful build-up, especially when it's a male-male story or a female, just a gay romance in general. But like, last year, I was reading all the romantasy, and it was all hetero, and then I started like boring. Then I started on male, like sports romances, college romances, and now I'm in this spiral of like alien and monsters, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Let me know when you read the one about the pink gelatinous shark monster.
No, I can't go there.
It's an alien.
I can't go there.
It said it's like Jello. What were we talking about?
I don't even.
I think
Grant. And
I call this the monster.
You guys, we're getting too comfortable. Yeah.
I think
Jesus Christ.
So I started my massive weight loss, and it became.
Well, I think also
a little obsessive.
Let's not. You didn't start your massive weight loss. You got your biggest with this man.
I got my biggest.
Like you were.
I'm saying when we became the most codependent was when I really started to take weight loss super seriously. And the big thing was I stopped drinking and I stopped going out. So the food scene in DC
the food scene
cannot be
dope.
understated. It is so fucking good.
Dude, I haven't had a bad meal in DC.
And you won't. And you really
Like
won't.
from
Because
the-
bad
from
restaurants
the
don't
tacos-
fucking, they literally don't fucking
From the
match.
restaurants to like the food stands to everything.
They're so fucking good. So I had to make a
Can you
decision.
hear this? That's the wine pouring out of the decanter.
No, you can't. But that's gonna make for a great podcast. But I think when that really started for me was that, and it also coincided with the same time when I lost a really important friend to me. My best friend.
And to clarify, she didn't die. She just
No, my gosh, she's alive.
Yeah. She just is
I think it was kind of the perfect storm.
You guys grew apart.
We grew apart. She got a boyfriend at the same time that my therapist urged me to stop giving so much. And she said, what I want you to do with everyone in your life is to pull back and see who comes to you, because you tend to create these one-sided relationships when you don't even realize it. And then it hits you when you need them that they don't show up for you. And it's because you likely attracted somebody who just wants to take.
Kind of like your previous relationship.
It's how you attract sociopaths.
Yeah.
You attract people who, and so
I don't think you're attracting them, Jordan. I think you're just putting up with it. Yeah.
Right.
I need you to change that narrative, because like you're not somebody who attracts that. You're a great person.
the way I was over exerting myself in certain aspects of friendship to almost seem valuable, or to seem to show value that I can be a good friend or can be a good partner or whatever, was attracting a certain type. So she said, what I want you to do is pull back from everyone and see who comes to you. It happened to be at the same time she got a new boyfriend, and I got in very close with one of our mutual friends, and I don't know if she was hurt by me getting very close to somebody else or whatever, but
like she felt like you left her behind or something.
I don't know. The last time we spoke for over a year, she showed up like an hour, 2 hours late to my birth. We were supposed to hang out for my birthday. I think we had plans to hang out 2 or 3 times that week. It was someone I spoke to daily, hung out with at least once a week. Ghosted me every day that we were supposed to hang out. Then showed up at my actual party for like, I threw like a little roller skating party. Showed up an hour late.
Cute.
Didn't speak to anyone. Didn't roller skate. Left an hour early. And
Did she give you a used birthday present
She
too?
gave me something. I don't know for sure if it was used, but it came no tags, smelling of her perfume. So I'm fairly certain she pulled something out of, which is crazy because for her birthday, I got her like a custom Steelers. Like I was in contact with it. Just like it just showed the inequity.
Right. And let's be real. Like I don't need my best friend to get me the most amazing gift ever, but like just something with thought. Like if you clearly just pull something out of your closet,
even if it's a dinner, I wouldn't have cared.
I would rather get a handwritten note than you handing me a piece.
We
of
had a dinner plan. She bailed on the dinner.
Yeah.
We had, and that's it was just like enough that I was like, wow, she truly just didn't. Just didn't care. We didn't speak for a year plus. I saw her at a wedding randomly, and she was, we did have a decent talk at the wedding. We talked, and she literally said to me the fact of like, oh, if only we could get rid of that mutual friend that I got really close to, we could all be chill again. And I was like, wait, why would we have to get rid of somebody to be friends? That's when I realized like this was all exactly. I was like, that's when I realized, because we also she had another friend who made a bunch of people stop talking to me because she was like, Jordan shouldn't be in our friend group.
So
it was all just
so all this was going on.
Losing a best friend of 3 years, who I spoke to every day and saw multiple times a week, 3 years was almost harder than losing Sarah in a lot of ways. Like that fucking.
Well, she was also a friend from high school, dude.
Yeah, I noticed that was 12.
And I think also like that makes sense.
I glommed on to Grant. Even
exactly.
Because and also Grant never really liked her. Grant
was like, not a fan of her either.
He was like, I always see that you're willing to do more for her than she is for you. There feels to be inequities.
Does Angie not like me? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said her name. Does she not like me either?
I don't know. I honestly don't
we
know.
got along when I came to visit, but I think
you and I weren't that close at that point. So there's a good chance if I talk shit on you as a friend, she probably just.
But when I did visit you guys and her and I would hang out, like I was always nice to her and stuff, but like I feel like she could tell that I saw through her shit.
It could have been. I mean, even that mutual friend we have, who's one of my greatest friends, Maura, has brought up to me now, like since, and she's like, she would be literally mean.
No, she
called me a pig and snorted at me.
Right, that's fucked
and
up.
I wasn't my biggest at the time. Looking back,
it doesn't matter.
No, I know, but like at the point, like it's friends roast in my head. Friends roast friends.
Friends roast friends, sort of, but not like that. That's fucked up.
I get it.
And I think too, like,
What?
I have no idea what I was going to say.
Okay, well, so I think that was another reason that just kind of created this. And then I was also kind of removing myself from drinking, and which is hard to do in your 20s, and still maintain social. I didn't really know who I was socially without drinking, especially because I got really more into drinking after mom died. So it just became, and that's also when I got really into reading. So like staying home, working out. I had a Peloton and weights in the basement, and I was working out 4 hours a day, 3-4 hours a day.
3-4 hours?
I'm not even kidding. I would do...
On the Peloton?
I would do an hour ride. I would do an hour lift. I would run. And then I was picking up yoga, or I was stretching.
I'm not trying to be mean,
probably
but
about
that's
3
too
hours.
much
It
on
was
somebody
too
your
much.
size.
It was.
Because it's too intense on your joints.
But it became obsessive. It became so obsessive.
Which is probably not healthy either.
No. I mean,
like 2 hours, sure, because like strength training and then cardio. Like I do that daily, or 5 times a day, five times a week.
Taylor, 5 times a day is...
That'd be insane. But I do think I don't care if you're at your biggest or if you're at your smallest, what you were doing was too much.
It's just too much. And it's not...
Good for you though. I mean, commitment, but it's...
I think I have an addictive personality, and when I get onto something, I buy in 150%. That's just like the way I go. So yes, I definitely became really dependent on Grant, and he was always someone who didn't have a lot of strong relationships. Like he wasn't that close with his family when I met him. He wasn't that close with his friends when I met him. He got closer to all of them, and he, at least at the time, would say like, you're the reasons I talk to my family more. Like the time when I met him, he wasn't even talking to his father. And I always wanted to urge him to be like, that you should try to heal that relationship for what it's worth. So it was just very easy to become each other's solar system. But when I started coming out of that, and when I did the work, and when I started to lose weight, get more confident, get into therapy, take care of myself, I realized that part of myself that I was neglecting. I am an extrovert. I am a social person. I am someone who...
I think we both operate in the introverted extrovert space. Like when we're in, and we want to be in.
When I'm done, I'm done. I will leave spin at 11:30.
If I'm done,
or 11, and I'm out.
And I'm out. But when I'm out, I'm giving you everything. Me and Jack call them our social tokens.
Yeah.
So like I have like 8.
Yeah.
Actually, my friend Brando taught me this, but I stole it from him, and we were obsessed with it ever since he said it.
Cute.
Let's say I have 8 social tokens a week. I can use that to go to dinner, a happy hour, a long FaceTime with a friend, whatever it may be. When I'm out, I'm fucking out. I don't care. But when they're there, I am the fucking chatterbox of the world. And I think you kind of operate in the same space.
I do. And when I started to fill my cup back up socially with that regards, I was even started before. Like I got really close with my friend Jackie in DC, and I was really close with Maura. She moved to Dallas.
Ew.
Her
Dallas.
Her now husband, Maura.
No, I said sorry, Dallas.
Her now husband is
I know Maura. She's a cute little corgi.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Didn't you just go to her wedding?
I did. Her now husband is from El Paso, and a lot of his friends are in Dallas. So
Have you been to Dallas?
I haven't.
It's so spread out.
I think they're there right now trying to save money, and he's going to spend with his friends before they start a family.
I'm just not a Texas girly.
I'm not a Texas girly.
It's hot as fuck. Austin's fun, but like...
No, you couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah. It's just like
also,
all the transports from
pay
LA.
me enough to be in a red state. I'm so sorry. Like, there's not a chance.
Well, Austin is very liberal, but like...
It's a blue dot in a red state.
Yeah.
Still, I'm in a red fucking state. I will... it's not even a swing. I mean, I guess Texas is a bit of a swing state now. Hopefully.
And don't get me wrong, I like Austin, but like to me, it's just a bunch of people who are leaving other places because it was really cheap.
And now
it's not cheap at all.
So what are we doing?
Yeah. And like, it's just the weather there too. And like, I'm not trying to just like relocate to that kind of situation. No. Like if I'm gonna live anywhere in the States, San Diego's fucking it.
Agreed. And I'll never leave unless it's...
Even though it's expensive as hell, but I honestly,
we're not even in the top 10 highest rent this year.
I saw that post on Instagram too. Don't believe everything you see on Instagram.
I saw it several times.
Yeah.
It was like for standard one bedroom.
But I actually think though, like because everybody's fleeing California, this is what happened in Denver. Everybody fucking left Denver. I'm like, what if we get cheap again? But probably not, because California is just everybody.
Probably not San Diego, just because it's the top 5 climate in the world. But
in the world,
yeah.
You know where I want to live next? A blue zone. I just want to live in a blue zone, dude. A blue zone's like they have the longest lifespan and the healthiest lifestyle.
So you want to go to like Finland or Sweden?
No, Costa Rica's one. I think there's one in Portugal. There's one in Sardinia, Italy.
See, I don't want to live that long. I don't think. life's fucking hard, dude. I'm tired. I don't know. It's just like the idea of being 100.
I think
what the fuck am I doing at that point?
Dude, I'm gonna still be like raving when I'm like 7.
If once I lose the ability to like taste food, have sex, kill me.
No, but our grandparents were fucking till the end.
You think I don't? Okay,
Pap,
first of all, I don't like. No. I understand.
Pap texted me when he was dementia.
I know. We all know. We've all experienced it. Our pap kind of lost what the Google was and what texting was, so he would text us all his meant to be Google searches because he was 91 and senile.
I almost sent him a link. Like, here you go.
Ew, that would be so fucking weird.
Like, I feel like Siri because, like, poor man.
Okay. Anyways,
sorry.
Jesus. Fine. Grant. So basically, I guess to move that needle.
You were going through a dark time with your friends. They moved, and now
I wanted to move. I'd always wanted to move to San Diego. I told him when I met him that within 3 to 5 years, I would move to San Diego. Ashley and Kyle were leaving this incredible apartment here, a house here in San Diego with very reasonable rent for what it is, and
we almost took it. I know that, and almost told you guys.
I know it was so fucking mean because we both work from home, and wanted the dual office space, and got in, moved here. And I went even further to self-improvement. I went even more, I got more social. It got more important for me got very into aerial acrobatics and aerial yoga. And I got very into, I met your friends who I'd already met, but I never really expected them to embrace me the way they did. I always thought I would just be a little sister.
I'm so lucky. This is found family, dude.
They're fantastic. And then I met my own friends through aerial. And through that, I didn't think I realized it until it was too late that, Grant had always been a bit of a homebody, and I thought that's what it was. But then, all of a sudden one day he called me a misandrist. And I was like,
I still don't know that means.
I literally, so I said, a what? Like, what do you mean? He goes, a man hater. And I went, oh yeah? Like, have you met, do you know my trauma? Do you know me? Like, yes, I'm a man hater. And he was like, well, it's not a good thing. Like, I wore like a badge of honor. I was like, yeah. And he was like,
also, it's not even at your trauma. Look around.
Yeah. I mean,
look what men created. Look at the patriarchal hellscape we live in.
And then things started saying weird things. I remember one day I was just like, what's your daily screen time? And he said something like 10, 11 hours. And that is
literally, think about it. We sleep.
And then I realized
average 10 hours. That's 11 hours on your phone. Like, let's say on average.
Started to click.
Like, you're off your phone for 3 to 5 hours.
Taking in this manosphere content. And then he started to get more vocal about some of the things Trump was doing was right with immigration, with ICE, with trans people, which was just so far the opposite of me.
And, like, as somebody who comes from the LGBTQ plus community.
Very hard to hear.
Yeah. And, like,
especially because I always made it very clear that you don't need to understand, but you need to be okay. Yeah. You need to let people live. And I made that very clear. From the get-go, I said, I will not date somebody who is not supportive.
And who's a bigot.
He started to say some weird, we got a lot of fights, a lot of screaming matches. And I said, wait a minute, you were moderate. And we've had this conversation before, and you said something totally different. I was placating you. I knew that if I
He said that?
Yes. He said, I knew that if I said my true piece, you would dump me. And that was just so shocking and like so like manipulative. And then the day that I broke up with him was the day he said to me, I would rather Trump be on the Epstein list and have committed the crimes he's accused of than any other Democrat. And that's when I realized that there was no bridging. There was no bridging a gap. There was nothing to be done there. And I'm sure he doesn't actually believe what
he's being brainwashed.
He was at a point where he was taking in such massive amounts of this
poison.
Yeah. And I think
that's sad.
I didn't see it as my duty anymore to try to convince him otherwise. I wanted out. I didn't recognize who he had become. I didn't feel...
That's not the person you fell in love with.
But I also didn't feel good about... I almost felt like reinforcing that behavior to try to... even sit there and try to have a conversation around. That's why I literally just
Well, the thing is, you guys
stopped.
weren't even having conversations.
No.
You were getting into streaming matches. And like,
Oh, the neighbors. It
right.
Was,
and like,
so
if
toxic.
and don't get me wrong, me and Jack have differed on views before, but at the end of the day, he's like, nope, this is a pedophile.
No,
This is a
that was
homophobe,
shocking. And I
sexist freak.
Let me be very clear. I don't think Grant's a bad guy. I don't think he supports a pedophile. I don't think he even has a problem with gays. I think he was very unhappy at that
So
time.
he's projecting.
And he was also taking, and maybe even a little miserable, so he was commiserating with other miserable men.
It's a dangerous thing to do.
And that's what's happening in the manosphere, though. Men who feel like they're unheard.
But this is incel behavior.
But that's what's
This
happening.
is Cybertruck
Men
energy.
are feeling unheard right now and unsupported.
But you know what, dude? Welcome to how everybody else in the
Taylor,
fucking
I'm
world has
fucking
been
with you.
feeling. I know,
get
but
it.
like,
I'm with you.
think about.
But
you know,
I guess I'm just trying to say that I don't think Grant is inherently a bad person with bad beliefs. I think he knows
he's lost.
I think he was very lost. I think I played a part in that by getting a little, like you said, we were a two-headed monster. Then I really became a lot more independent. I'm not saying that I'm to blame at all. I'm just saying I understand.
I'm gonna nip this. I'm sorry. I'm shaking my head. I understand what you're saying. Like that you guys both got complacent in your relationship. But even in your darkest times, Jordan, you've always, at least in the conversations we've had, and I've seen you with your friends too, have been how I am. I'm not like the most political person alive, but like I will speak out against atrocities and I rage at these injustices.
It's crazy that that's labeled political right now.
Yeah.
It's not political to have basic fucking human dignity.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, to me, I don't see any fault in yours in that because like at the crux of the issue, he was hiding who he was and he turned to a really, let's call a spade, a violent place on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that fed into this cis white man hetero narrative that made him
toxic narrative.
And who knows? But the thing is, that didn't plant the seed. That just nurtured a seed that was already there.
Absolutely.
So like I'm not saying he is or isn't one of those things. I'm just saying hopefully he learned his lesson. But like you said, it is not up to you to stay in a relationship with somebody and coach them out of these
I couldn't
beliefs.
do it anymore. And
it's also that's compromising your beliefs.
Well, that's what it felt like at that point. It
Yeah.
felt like
and you're making excuses to your friends and people for his behavior.
And exactly. And I just felt not. Yeah, I felt like I was reinforcing some bad behavior, which seems like a really generic way to say that, but it was really hard because it was someone that I loved and someone who gave me a lot of space to grow, and I almost felt like I was copping out and not doing the same, but we were having the same arguments, the same screaming matches.
Well, I think
I started to feel crazy.
Yeah.
I started to feel.
There's probably a little gaslighting going on too.
I'm sure, and I'm sure it's. I understand it's never going to be, I'm never going to be just as you are. We're not easy, quote unquote, women to date. We're opinionated. We're loud.
Sorry, Jack.
Sorry, Stan. But like, I like to think we're worth it.
Yeah. You got Big Tits McGee and
there we go.
Quit.
There we go.
But okay, I do think though, like it's important. The lesson what would you say your lesson then is to take away from that relationship?
Think we've unpacked it all? Not even close. Tune in next week for part 2. Where Jordan and I dive even deeper into our relationships, healing, and all the messy stuff that comes with growing up. Thanks for listening. All right, you silly goosies. Thank you so much for tuning in to But Seriously. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at butseriously.pod and check out our website for upcoming events and exclusive merch. You can find all the links in our YouTube video description or on our Instagram page. See you next time.